So we have a very exciting program today as we get more into the educational part of luxurious hair. So holistically, we have to come to understand the position of hair in our energy fields. So I call it the art of being alive. So I teach medical ethereal qigong, and that's like 55 years practice and 35 years of teaching. And there's different levels, as everything is a pyramid. Everything has a level. So you start at the very bottom and you slowly work up to where you want to go as high as you possibly can. So there's no limit. So for me, I want to basically bring it down to your level so that you really understand what your hair represents and why it is so, besides being beautiful, because anything real is beautiful, right? If you look at nature, you see the beauty everywhere, flowers, animals, insects, just beauty. So the hair represents all these different levels. But mainly what I want to bring across is that the hair is alive. And so that's what we really have to come to understand. So why do we have to have such an important awareness of our hair? Because that's our energy fields. Our energy fields. So the energy basically starts off with the spiritual energy when we come in spiritually. So we're not material, we're just spirits. We come down to planet Earth, and the first breath we take starts the material bodies, the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, and the energy body. Now, all those four bodies are connected to our hair. What does that mean? That it means hair is ethereal energy. So it's not spiritual energy, it's not material energy, it's ether. Fire, air, earth, water, ether. So if any of you guys really don't understand what I'm saying, send me a chat. I hope I'm making it really clear why MoroccoMethod.com is so natural. Because the body is 100% natural. Nature is 100% natural. Nature doesn't produce any chemicals. Humans produce the chemicals in a laboratory. And that is what messed up our health. Our health is our wealth. Without your health, you're kaput. So coming back to the ethereal hair, there's 5 types of hair on the body. They do 5 different types of work. So I keep bringing it to the realization, if you look at a plant, if you look at a really beautiful plant with flowers, you're not going to go over there with a blow dryer with hot air and start blow drying it. You can put it on cool, right? You can put the blow dryer on cool, but you don't want to use hot. And you don't want to pour chemicals on these plants because they're going to die. The flowers will fall off first, then little by little, the top will start dying and it'll slowly, so the top represents the crown chakra. The crown chakra, the hair on our head is the crown chakra. So this hair is the god and goddess energy. So that's what goddess means. Goddess is representing the man and woman. God, this, goddess. Got it? So you have gods and you have goddesses, and they come together as a polarity, and they represent the crown chakra, our hair. So Morocco Method is an educational methodology to educate people how to grow luxurious, healthy, vibrant hair. It's not take a shampoo and then you're done. No, you have all these different spokes in a wheel. The same with life. Life has all these different spokes in a wheel. Everything comes to 5 types of hair on the body, 5 senses, 5 elements, 5 types of hair on the body. So we have fire, air, earth, water, ether. Hair is ether. It's the fifth element. It's the most powerful element that we have. So how we take care of our hair is really what the whole Morocco Method system is about. And anyone who's been around me for a while, you understand that we have the lunar calendar, we have all natural products, we have the brush and scalp massagers, we have natural colors, and we have natural styling products. So all of those put together, it's not just shampoo. I go to the store and you see shampoos that say, oh, instant hair recovery from dead, brittle hair. It's just common sense. That's not reality at all. If the hair is dead, in other words, the hair has been fried, damaged beyond repair, cut it off. Cut it off. Same thing with a plant. You got a plant and the leaf is all turning yellow and brown and it's dying. You cut that part off because it's never going to come back. It's never going to come back. So we're going to get through that we're going to go through today with the hair cutting techniques for seasons. There's 4 different seasons, and we basically use those seasons to cut our hair, along with the lunar chart. But I really want to impress upon everyone that hair is a very, very, very powerful element, energy for our bodies. The hair on the head is the crown chakra. So this represents the god and goddess energies, which when you get to be intuitive, when your intuition kicks over, boom, your hair is in vibrant condition and it's a tuning fork to the universe. All that energy coming down from the universe passes through the ether, the 5th element, and the first thing it touches is our hair. Doesn't touch our physical body. The first thing it touches is our hair on our head, eyebrows, your eyelashes. So basically that's your planet Earth hair, ears, nose, eyes, eyebrows. You're representing planet Earth. Then you come down to the facial hair, the 3rd hair on the body, the beard. And we don't have time to get into a lot of this. I just want to touch on the top part. But if you look in the Bible, you'll see all these incredible Bible stories about beards, representing the tremendous amount of energy. Samson and Delilah cutting the hair on the wrong dates. Rapunzel dropping her hair down to allow her lover to enter into her life. All of these biblical stories and fairy tales weave hair into them. So I want to bring this, I'm touching on it, but I'm going to bring in the biblical stories and the fairy tales bigger and bigger, because hair is the most powerful element that we have, and we don't want to destroy it. We don't want to ruin it. We want to make it more luxurious, more vibrant, more healthy, right? Then we have the hair on the body. So we have approximately 5 million hairs on our body. There's 5 million hairs, give or take approximately. I didn't count them all, somebody did, but that's the general report. So the body represents the physical energy, obviously, and being in the present moment. So it starts opening up spiritual awakening, it starts opening up meditation, it starts opening up active meditation, it starts opening up be here now. So be here now represents that when you're in the present moment, that's where all the energy is. When you're present, total energy. There's no past, there's no present, there's no time. Time doesn't exist when you get to be level 12. But that's another conversation. When you reach a certain level of clarity, there is no time. There is no past. There is no present. So here we are in the present moment. That's representing the body on our hair, the hair on our body, the whole body, the body hair. Very, very physical. And then we come to the 5th type of hair on the body, is the pubic hair. which is sexual, obviously, and it represents energy. So we have the physical body, the emotional body, the intellectual body, and then we have the energy body. The fourth body is the pubic in the body, because we have the divine, which goes into ether. But on the body count, pubic hair is very, very powerful. It has the most power of all the energies of all our bodies, is the energy body coming out of the pubic hair. So we don't want to really mess up this hair, and I'm not going to get into all this stuff too involved, but I want to concentrate on our hair on our head. So the hair on the head is the crown chakra, and how we take care of it and how we basically bring it back to life is what Morocco Method represents. We have all these videos, we have all this education, we have all these natural products, and that's all spokes in the wheel to bring them all back together. So I want to mention before I go any further, because I have so much to cover, is like, let me see, where am I want to do? Here. So I want to mention that we have a coupon code for all people who are attending, and it's Lunar25. And you just put in Lunar25 for a 25% discount on your next purchase. And then please follow us on your YouTube channels. How do they do that? They know.
We'll send them on the chat.
Yeah, put that on the chat. Because we really need support. So all the small businesses in this country made in the USA really need support. And Morocco Method's part of that. It's all made in the USA. We're veteran owned, and we really need to have support because we're not corporations. We don't have billions of dollars, and we don't want them. We just want enough to be comfortable, right? Everything has to be very comfortable. We have to be grateful for what we have and grateful for what we don't have. And if we don't have luxurious hair, this is why we're here. We're here to get educated, to get aware, and to basically start wherever you are daily, a little by little. So hair cutting is very important. Obviously, first of all, if the hair is damaged, I'm not suggesting cut all your hair off. But if your hair is dead beyond repair, cut it off. And I highly recommend everyone start cutting your own hair. That's very, very, very advisable. When I left Kenneth's, I couldn't find anyone to cut my hair at the top levels. So I started cutting it myself. We have all these videos, which I would like you to watch, and just start getting aware of how easy it is to cut your own hair. What I'm leading to is the lunar cycle. What that represents is what we just covered with the 5 types of hair on the body, that the goddess energy, God and goddess energy, this has to be as healthy as possible. I basically start off in the summer, in the spring. Let's go ahead and do the 4 seasons to make it a little clear. So you can hear the same thing with hair as you do with growing plants. So winter is hibernation. Hair is basically left alone. We'll get into that. Spring, we want to start taking care of the soil, composting, sprouting seeds, getting ready to plant, to produce in the summer vegetables or fruits or flowers, right? So in the spring, we cut our hair as short as possible. I don't mean mostly for men, and then women can basically in the spring, if you're going to be cutting some amount of hair, I would wait till the spring to cut a lot of hair off because that's the most powerful energy you can possibly do. And I keep explaining that we snip when you do this. You hear that? That snipping, when you do that, sends a message to the roots, to the sebaceous glands, to the growth patterns, and it's equivalent to around 12 to 18 acupuncture treatments. So that's how powerful it is when we cut our hair in the lunar cycle. So we have 5 elements. You can choose any of the 5 elements per month. Obviously, lengthen, strengthen, thicken, root work, and beautify. So that's entirely up to what you want to accomplish. But the season, we're going to start off with the 4 seasons first. So for people who really have long hair or don't want to cut their hair every month or every 2 months, they want to cut it. If they don't want to cut it at all, that's a disaster because the hair splits. And I keep reminding everyone, if you don't seal the ends of your hair, they're going to split. So you can grow your hair as long as you want to your waist, to your knees, to your ankles. What do you want, Yuri? What? What do you want? My German Shepherd. She's saying hello. So if you have really, really long hair and you want longer hair, you can cut it during lengthening. You can cut it during strengthening. You can do thickening. You can do root work. Your hair will grow 3 times faster. 300%. Because I've proven that over 50 years with the lunar cycle with everybody. I don't care who you are, it'll grow. Unless you're doing chemical processes, which I highly recommend to stop it. All chemical processes, if you come back to the ethereal energy, you'll understand, don't do that to your hair. Don't do that. There's so many other solutions, and we have all the answers to anything that you possibly can do. We have all the answers how to do it naturally. So for long hair, you can grow it as long as you want, but you want it to be as thick at the crown as you want at the ends of your hair. Most women with long hair, very few, but most women have 100%, 80%, 70%, 50%. Then you get down to like 10 or 5% at the ends, and that's not really attractive. And it's not really, it's like dead. Cut the dead ends off. If they're all split, dry, and dead. So once a season, I highly recommend getting the calendar. Go to MoroccoMethod.com. Calendar's free. It's called the Lunar Chart for 2025. It's all listed. And you pick what element you want to use. So you have the full moon is very powerful, and the equinox and the solstice are very powerful. And a lot of people, send me emails all the time saying this doesn't equate to the dates. Like if you look on astrology, you'll look at dates and you'll say like, oh, the full moon's on, for example, the astrology says the full moon's on the 9th, where the lunar chart, on my lunar chart, it says that the full moon is on the 12th and 13th. This chart is for hair. It's not an astrological chart in general astrology. It's only for hair. There's different charts for different elements. So this, what I create, is from thousands of years ago. And that's we're weaving in ancient rituals and timeless secrets. So I've been blessed to become a hair shaman. I understand what I'm talking about. I don't know it. I understand it. Big difference. Knowledge is in a book. Pick up the book, read it. Anybody can do that. But to understand it, you have to be able to do it. In other words, it has to be in your life and it has to function. So the equinox and the solstice dates are very powerful. These dates are only for hair. They're not in the astrology chart. Our full moon dates are different. Our solstice and equinox dates, you'll see they're different, but they're charted astrologically only for the hair chart. And then that's once a season. You seal the ends of the hair, no matter where you are. You cut them off so they don't split, and you'll be very happy because you can grow it as long as you want. It'll get thicker, stronger, more vibrant. Then if you're going to cut it every other month, then you pick on what you want to accomplish. Lengthen is lengthening. Strengthening is strengthening the growth process through the cut, thickening is the new hair coming in is going to be stronger, thicker. It's like when hair first starts growing, it's fuzz. It's not a follicle. So it comes out of the roots, the growth pattern. It's coming out of inside here, the growth pattern in the roots. So minoxidil and Rogaine and all this nonsense that people say, grow hairs. If anybody could grow hair, they'd be a trillionaire in 24 hours, right? If anyone truly could grow hair with any method at all, somebody comes over and says, I don't have any hair, my hair is gone. And they say, who, take this and your hair comes back up. It hasn't happened. It hasn't happened and it's not going to. I've been in hair my whole life. So what happens, and first of all, you're going to grow a little fuzz, and then that's going to turn into a hair follicle. Only nature can do that. No chemical can do that. No nonsense from what man's trying to create is going to do that. Because if they could, they would. It's never happened. Obviously, it's a fact. So you have to take care of the new fuzz coming in. So that's another thing I want to bring up. So when you start seeing a lot of people will say, oh, there's like all this little fuzz coming in, you'll see it in the hairline. That's your whole head. You don't see it here because it's way deep inside, but you see it here, right on the hairline, you'll start seeing new fuzz. So my body's 82 years old. So in the spring, I cut it as short as possible. As short as possible. That's going to send all the energy down into the roots, down into the growth patterns, down into the sebaceous glands. It's going to be very, very powerful. It's like cultivating soil, which we've done for thousands of years. And our grandparents didn't know what the word organic was because they were living organic. They composted all the soil organically all the time. Now, I don't know who created this stupid word, but they put it in all the stores, organic. I see it in the commercial stores, the stores you go in where they have junk food and junk stuff, and they say organic, this section is organic vegetables. That's not true because all the soil is Monsanto. All the soil is basically not soil, it's chemicals. So it brings us down to farmer's market, eat live food, produce live cells, produce beautiful hair. So we go into the cutting process. So the very fuzz will start showing here. You don't want to go in the spring, especially in the summer, if you're producing fuzz, which I have a lot because I've cut my top of my hair really, really short. There was a date in May when I did that. Yeah. So I cut it in a strengthening date during a full moon cycle in May. I cut it really short. The top, the whole top, right up until about here. So about 2 inches above the ears down, you can grow your hair as long as you want, normally. Because when you see male pattern baldness, you'll see this is gone, this is gone. They'll have hair here and here. Because of your sebaceous glands, your oil glands. And this is, if you feel this, I keep saying how thick this is. This is a lot of oil glands in here because you have a lot of what do you call it? Skin here. You have a lot of stuff here, right? So you have room to have all these different glands and different things going on in here. But if you come up to here and you squeeze it, it's very, very thin. So you don't have hardly any sebaceous glands in the front and the top. So that's, for me, what I've been doing this for over 50 years. And I'm really an example of what I teach with my hair. So this is cut really short in the spring. I keep it cut short all summer. It's a little longer. When I first did it in May, it was really super short, probably crew cut. So if you go back into ancient rituals and timeless secrets, when spring came, all the boys are sheared. all of the boys in the world were sheared in the spring. Boys. Because that gave them tremendous power, not only in the growth pattern, but in their whole energy fields, like Samson and Delilah. So we don't have time to get into all these things. I wish I had a lot of time. But eventually I'm going to be bringing in chunks of these ancient mysteries and secrets and rituals. So I remember when I was in the 1940s, I was born in 43. So when I started, my memories first started probably when I was 4, 5, 6 years old. I remember in the spring, we'd go to the barber shop and they would just literally shave us. All the boys were shaved. And they stopped doing that, unfortunately. But if you go back to your grandparents, your great-grandparents, you go back thousands, millenniums of years, you will see in history that they were all shaved. The girls are different. You give birth to babies. And that's another big conversation. Physically, we're very different. I mean, we're all human beings, but physically, it's very obvious we're different. So all the boys got shaved, the girls didn't get shaved. They'd had other rituals. There was other secrets that the girls did that the grandmothers brought in, and then the grandfathers brought it in to the boys. The grandmothers brought it into the girls' ancestry. So in the spring, I suggest this is the time for everyone, men and women. If you're going to cut a length of hair, do it in the spring. It sends the most powerful energy down into the growth patterns, into the roots, and you will see remarkable results. So now it's summer, and I'm keeping it not as short as I did in the spring, but it's short, but I'm letting it grow in a little bit. And then in the fall, I will allow the top to grow in. In the winter, it'll be the longest because that's during the dormant period. That's when the hair wants to rest. It doesn't want to be pushed. It doesn't want to be forced. So as soon as spring comes, spring equinox, the whole bodies want to explode with energy because we've been hibernating, sleeping, resting all winter, and we don't do that anymore because we have we have this. We don't rest anymore. I do. I have lots of empty space, lots of empty space. So basically in the spring, there's all these rituals that happen. I remember as a child in the spring, my grandparents, my nonnies from Italy would say, oh, get the burlap sacks. We're going up to the mountains. We lived in Connecticut. And they came from Italy. And they came from millenniums of farmers. They weren't commercial farmers. They produced everything themselves. So in the spring, I remember being very young, cars would come, even trucks came, and there'd be like 30, 50, 70 people. It'd be all the neighborhoods and the cousins and all the Italian paisans would come, and we go up in the mountains to where the cows were, because that's where all the cow dung was, in the cow fields, and it grew incredible dandelions, big, vibrant, strong dandelions. They were so bitter, and that's what you needed to change your blood. So these are rituals, and they're all stopping, unfortunately. For us, it's unfortunate. For our children, it's more unfortunate. For our grandchildren, it's really a tragedy. So how do you bring them back? It's through people like me who are going to basically start bringing up a lot of podcasts and a lot of videos. And I'm encouraging everyone to bring this back. Bring this back. Our health is our wealth. It's everything. So we went up and got burlap sacks of dandelions. Very, very strong, very powerful. They weren't organic. They were beyond. They were wild crafted, for God's sake. They weren't sprayed. They weren't grown in Monsanto chemicals, DuPont, all those horrible people, creatures doing these disgusting things to our food, they grew in nature, 1,000% natural. Then we come down from the mountains and we all had burlap sacks of dandelions. Now, what happened in the morning, we'd have omelets with dandelions. Omelets. They make omelets with the eggs and then put in fresh dandelions, alive dandelions. Then in the afternoon, we'd have dandelion salads, all different kinds of salads, but dandelions, no lettuce. It was all about dandelions. And in the evening, we'd have dandelion soup along with whatever we were going to be eating. So this went on for 2 or 3 weeks. Everyone had dandelions, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This basically took us out of the winter blood, and it brought us into the spring. And all of the dandelions represented iron and a lot of extraordinary trace minerals. So for our hair, the boys got shaved. This was like, and it brought in all new growth patterns. The dandelions changed our blood from winter to spring, because the 4 seasons, we lived in the 4 seasons. And we did rituals like that. And the hair was, you look at old pictures, and you look at old pictures of your families. I don't care who you are, where you came from. Their hair was so thick, so powerful. So they didn't bleach it. They didn't dye it. They didn't blow dry it. They had very, very, very powerful, strong hair, because that's the ethereal energy. And our great-grandparents were nothing to fool around with. You couldn't fool around with them. They didn't have propaganda. They didn't have TVs. They weren't mentally destroyed. They were clear, very clear. 1 and 1 was 2. I remember my grandparents, they didn't go to school. They didn't read. They didn't write. They were in World War I. They were the most intelligent people I knew until today. They're the most intelligent people I've ever met, because they had common sense, and they had all these, like the grandparents and the grandfathers, always, something was wrong. Oh, do this. Oh, do that. They go in the garden, pick some herbs. They create a whole detox for somebody. They had all that. These are ancient rituals. That's what I'm trying to bring up. I'm going to bring it up. And timeless secrets. And I'm going to put that all over my website now. So we're doing a rebranding with MoroccoMethod.com. The rebranding is going to be all about the lunar cycle. It's going to be all about ancient secrets coming, because I created a website. You could look at it. It's still there. It's called theHairShaman.com. It's there. I created it a long time ago. It's called theHairShaman.com, because I was baptized in Honduras through an extraordinary. When I turned 50, I went down to Honduras because my Qigong master knew this hair shaman in Honduras. And I went down there for my 50th ritual. And it was a very elaborate ritual, went on for weeks. And at a certain date, I was completely shaved and bathed in the ocean by a hair shaman in South America. He was truly a shaman. And when I came out after that ritual, I understood what a hair shaman is. I didn't have to read it in a book, because it's nothing. It's knowledge. It's meaningless. Anybody could read it. You don't have it. You have to understand it. It has to be in you. It has to be the core, the actual core of our clarity. So that happened when I was 50. So I understand what it is to be a hair shaman. I don't see hardly anything happening like that anywhere in the world anymore, unfortunately. But I'm going to bring that back through MoroccoMethod.com. It's coming back. And I'm going to bring back a lot of rituals, a lot of timeless secrets. And I'm encouraging everyone to bring this into your daily life, little by little, daily. So watch our videos, go to my podcast. I'm doing podcasts. I don't know how you do that, but my technical department does. You can always call our customer service. They'll tell you what's going on, where it is, and how it's happening. How soon after results visible when snipping the hair? Is it immediate? No, of course it can't be immediate, because you plant a little seed in the ground. Do you turn around the next day and you have apples? No. And this is natural. This is nature. You have to have common sense. There has to be time. It takes time to cultivate the soil. That's our scalp, our sebaceous glands, our roots, our growth patterns. That's the soil that's growing this incredible plant called our hair. So it takes a little while. I would say not a couple of days. I would say a couple of weeks. A couple of days. No. It's like, do you put a little seed in the ground and go out there in 24, 48, 72 hours and you see a plant? No. But you will in a couple of weeks or a month. So you have to use logic, common sense. This is all about reality. This is nothing to do with laboratories or corporations or all this horrible greed going on. No, this is nature. Bring this back down.
There's another question.
Don't do that. So not a couple of days, it happens in a couple of weeks to a month. It can't happen overnight. So you have to have a degree of time. Look at it. This is the same as I'm comparing it to the earth, to the soil, and to plants. Like there, flower, and this is the flowers. So whatever you're going to produce vegetables, you're going to produce fruit, right? This is all the fruitation of our work. So it's not go to a salon, do whatever you want, come home and have dead hair. I don't go to the doctor and say, do whatever you want, medicate me. There's nothing wrong with me, medicate me. I have 20 medications, 30 medications. I have to be responsible for my bodies. That's my responsibility. 82 years old. My body is 82 years old. I'm 23. My energy level is 23 years old. I compare it to any 23-year-old. I can definitely outdo them with energy. But I have to maintain an 82-year-old physical body, and I do. I have no doctors, no meds, no drugs, no surgeries, and most of all, no pain. Zero, no pain. And that's all through medical ethereal qigong, through breathing consciously, and to maintain myself daily. This is my mantra. I'm the most important factor in my whole life. I have, like everybody else, I have a car, I have a house, I have a job, I have a career, I have a business, I have a social life. My health is number one. My health is number two. My health is number three. That's the most important thing. And then we come back to the hair with the lunar cycle. You basically, during the hair cutting techniques, you want to be able to do that through the seasons. Okay, if cutting hair on the moon cycle for lengthening, is it weeks? Just curious. So whenever you cut your hair, whether it's on 5 elements or it's a moon cycle or a solstice or equinox, the hair takes the same amount of time to grow. It's just that you're going to grow thicker hair, more hair, stronger hair, and the hair can lengthen. It can get faster. So once it comes out of the fuzz stage, let's say, put it that way. Once the fuzz turns into a hair follicle, this takes 2, 3, 4 weeks. So to get the little fuzz started, 2, 3, 4 weeks. To get the fuzz into a hair follicle, probably 3 to 5 weeks. Once it's a hair follicle, which no one can do, minoxidil, Rogaine, all that insanity. Every week, every month, every year, I see somebody saying, oh, I have this cream, I have this serum, I have this snake energy and serum, put it on your head, you're going to grow hair. What a waste of money and what a lie. Because it has to be a hair follicle. And once you have a hair follicle, then Morocco Method comes in with all the videos, it comes in with all the. And now I'm going to turn my website into the ancient secrets, and I'm going to put them out there so everybody can understand. And then the timeless secrets and the ancient rituals. So yeah, it takes time, but once your hair follicle is now stabilized, now it's going to, so lengthening is going to make your hair grow faster, longer. Strengthening is strengthening your roots, which is the most important thing. Thickening, again, your growth patterns are producing thicker hair follicles because the hair is here. This is done. You're not going to do nothing to this. This is done. Then you have root work, which is absolutely only root work into the roots of the hair. Like you pull a plant out of the ground, you'll see the roots. And then simply beautifying beauty is you can make your hair wavy. Like see my hair? Wavy. On certain dates, it'll become wavier. The back is really wavy. Yeah. So my grandmother used to accuse me of perming my hair. So when I was in my 20s, my nanny, my father's mother, my nanny, my grandmother, when I lived in New York City, I'd come home for a holiday or something, and she'd say, Antonio, are you perming your hair? I go, no, nanny, it's all natural. Because I was doing lunar cycles at 𝙋𝙇𝘼𝙍, and it was making my hair. No, everybody else had straight Italian hair. My hair was getting wavy, very, very curly. And it was extraordinary. I'll have to put a picture up. I'm going to put a picture on my website. I have, I got to find it. I have a picture when I was at 𝙋𝙇𝘼𝑍. My hair was unbelievable. Unbelievable. It was incredible. So not only is it beautiful, it is also healing. So then we come down into what I want to bring to you. Let me see what else the other questions are. Let me see. I can see them. I printed out the lunar cycle August 9th for lengthening to start on the path. Good for you. Yeah, I suggest printing out the lunar cycle for the year. Then you chart, because everybody's an individual. You individually pick and choose whatever you want, and you chart every month what you're going to do, and then have that. I have it in the bathroom. So when I open up a drawer, a certain drawer, when I open up, there's a lunar chart, and there's my hair cutting kits. So it reminds me, so I don't forget what dates I'm cutting my hair. Because I could space out like everybody else and go, oh my God, I just missed my full moon, or I missed the equinox, or I missed the solstice. So I have a drawer in my bathroom. I have two bathrooms, but one of them I open up and there's other things in there, but I open it up quite often, and there's the chart right on the top, and right underneath it is my hair cutting kits to remind me, oh, so this Wednesday is going to be the day, Wednesday, Thursday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I'm like preparing myself. So I say, okay, I'm really busy Wednesday, but I'm in the evening, I'm free. Or Thursday morning, I have an opening. Or midday Friday, I have an opening. So I tell everybody I cut my hair in 3 sections. So I don't cut my whole head at once. I only cut the top the first time I cut it, because I need to rest and recalibrate, because I don't want to ruin my hair. I don't want to chop it up or mess it up. So I cut the whole top. That's enough. Then the next time I come back, I cut this whole sides. That's enough. That's the second time I cut it during that one period, because I have like 2 or 3 days. And then the third section time I come in, I cut the back. So the back always gets cut by itself. And I just pull it down, 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 and I just snip off like maybe 1/8 of an inch. And my hair gets thicker, stronger, healthier, vibrant. and the color. So I might as well go into a little bit of color. So henna. So we have neutral henna, which is colorless, and it's one of the best conditioners there is. So anybody can do that once a month for a conditioner. But I suggest if anyone basically is bleaching your hair, do our blonde henna. Because I was a color master at Kenneth's, I mean a master colorist. Out of 5 in the world, I was one of those 5 in the whole world in the 1960s. Top hair colorist next to Rosemary Sorrentino. And we did tortoiseshell streaking, which it looked like you just came out of the Virgin Islands after 6 months and your hair was sun-streaked. But now they do sun-streaking in chunks and clumps. I rarely ever see a nice job. It's mostly just chunky blonde junk. Doesn't look that attractive. So I'm suggesting if you have any color hair, or you can take the blonde henna. It's like mud. You mix it up, watch our videos, slap it on your head. Do that 3 times. Because the first time, it doesn't penetrate the hair. It just coats the hair. So henna doesn't damage the hair because it doesn't penetrate it. Bleaches and dyes penetrate your hair. They broke open the hair follicle. Your hair is now destroyed, and it's going to dry out, and it's going to be lifeless. That's why I don't believe in chemicals, because you can also get cancer. So, but that's another serious conversation that we can save for a later time. But just for the fact of just common sense, if you put any chemicals on your hair, it's going to break open the follicle. It's going to penetrate through the hair, and it's going to destroy your life force. So henna, been done for thousands of years. Go back to Cleopatra, that 7,500 years ago or something. They did it. They basically, henna is a plant. It just coats the hair. And then the second time you do it, it coats it again. And the third time you do it, it coats it again. So this blonde is very subtle, but all the white and gray hairs are going to get pale blonde, more pale blonde, more pale blonde. So there's your answer to blonde. Stop the bleach. Bleach is 1,000,000% carcinogenic, destructive, and is destroying the life force of our hair. The same thing with color. So all henna is conditioning. So we have light brown, medium brown, dark brown, and we get those colors by different parts of the henna plant. We use the roots, the stem, the stalks, the leaves, the flowers. All these different parts for us produce a different color. Then you have black, you have red. So if you want red highlights, just a little bit of red highlights, I would say use like 90% neutral, colorless henna and put 10% red in it. The same thing with browns. I mean, be creative. Start off very subtle. Don't do it all at once. That's why I say take 90% neutral, colorless henna and put in 10% of your color. Then the next time, if it's not enough, do 80 or 70 or 50% neutral. And then bring in, I suggest with the browns, to bring in 2 colors. So you can bring in the light brown and the medium brown, depending on where you want to go. But don't do dark brown, even if you want it, because you don't know what your hair is going to do. So start off very, very light, very subtle, because you have plenty of time. Why destroy your color? Do a little bit. If you don't like it, not if you don't like it, it's not what you wanted. The next time you do a little bit more color. The next time do a little bit more color. And eventually you'll become your own color master, and you'll have your own formula that looks spectacular. And it's exactly what you want. And it's 100% natural. So a lot of my clients, thousands, basically everyone who stopped bleaching, everyone who stopped dyeing, everyone who stopped doing chemical, every one of them has said when they see their new hair coming out, which they haven't seen in years, because they've been doing this process for years, and they think that's their hair. Well, it's not. That's dead, lifeless, horrible hair, dead. And the ends are like, forget it, split, broken. It's very easy to correct, but it takes time. You need time. So you start off with the henna, with different formulas, with different colors, and you go 100% natural. And then your hair will be back to ether. So that's the whole, what I'm bringing up now is this timeless secret of the hair, 5 types of hair on the body. The crown chakra, this is called the crown chakra for a reason. It's the most powerful of the whole body is this crown chakra. Because this crown chakra is directly connected to the North Star. And that's the axis of Earth. So the planet Earth and North Star that's the whole connection with Earth is the North Star. So this is the crown chakra. It's like an unicorn. When you see a unicorn, that's what it represents. It represents that the head is picking up, the energy is going up, but it doesn't go straight up. It goes in the direction of the North Star. And that's what the unicorn represents. And during the Renaissance, when they started doing all those paintings in the Renaissance of the unicorn, 13, 14, 15 centuries, it was all about the crown chakra, and it was all about the North Star. So there you are. There's an ancient secret revealed. So it wasn't an animal with a horn. It was a mythology, a mythical animal representing the crown chakra and the North Star and energy fields. And anyone who understood clarity, when they saw the tapestries, they could read into the reality. Like if you really were at a very high level of clarity, when you looked at a pyramid, you'd understand hundreds of secrets. Hundreds. That pyramid, as basic as it is, signifies hundreds of timeless secrets. So we want to bring all that back into power, into energy. But the hair is my field. That's my expertise. And I'm a hair shaman, and I really want to be empowering everyone with these ancient rituals. Let's take a look. I printed out the lunar chart and trimmed my ends on July 29th. To thicken my hair, I have a professional hair cut on August 20th to strengthen my hair. Great. Good for you. So then basically you get the chart, you print it out for the year, and you pick out every month or every other month or once a season what days you're going to have your hair shaped, trimmed. And then you have that around so that you can call your salon, your hairdresser, and say, book me for these dates for the rest of the year. So then you have that in your calendar. The salon has it booked, so you don't call up and say, oh, I want to book something in August, and they say, oh, there's no openings, or that date is booked, you can't get in. So you don't want to get, so my motto is no stress, no deadlines. It's one of my mottos. No stress, not allowed. No deadlines, not allowed. Do everything early, and you'll be very, very healthy, happy, and strong. You don't want to stress out. Life is not necessary. No, we have enough problems where we solve them and move on, which we don't want to bring more problems into our lives. We want to live a very healthy, strong, healthy life. So that's going on with the lunar chart. Again, I want to mention that there's 4 books that you guys, if you really want to spend some time getting educated, whenever you use any of our products, and I really, very happy now that we have the 8-ounce aluminum brand packaging. So besides the 16-ounce, this is now 8-ounce, $17, very reasonable, in aluminum. So this is food grade. The whole lining is food grade. We're getting out of plastic. Our whole mantra for Morocco Method is everything is going to come out of plastic and go into glass or go into some compostable element. So that's our commitment to the earth. But 8 ounces, we have all the shampoos, all the conditioners. We have a lot of, for new customers, we have all kind of special sales to encourage you to try it. Then if you want to get educated, you simply go to Morocco Method. There are hundreds, many hundreds of videos on every product, on everything I'm talking about, there's videos. And if there's not, these Zooms are going to create new videos to go onto our library to educate anybody and everybody who wants to be healthy, happy, and strong. But I'm going to emphasize this is ether, ethereal energy, and you all want to bring your hair back to 100% natural for all reasons, not only for the beauty, but also for the energy levels and your connection to being into for your intuition. Subtle, it's very subtle energy, but once you start becoming more sensitive, everything changes and you're going to look spectacular. So the whole thing is cut off the dead hair, grow in new hair follicles, follow the seasons, chart it, get all natural products. It's not that I am really biased about Morocco Method, but after 55 years, I can say clearly there's not a hair company in the world shoulder to shoulder with Morocco Method. I challenge anyone to bring me a product as clean as Morocco Method with any company in the world. And that's when we get into reading ingredient lists. And we're masters with the ingredient list. We have natural preservatives. We have no chemicals, no color. We don't do that artificial nothing, zeros. And our shelf life is 70 years with natural preservatives, no chemicals. So why are they putting all this garbage into your hair care, skin care, personal care, dental care? Because it's cheap. It's made in the laboratory. It costs pennies. And our health is everything. I mean, if you don't want to pay for your dental, skin, hair care for quality, I don't want to say it, but you'll pay for it later when you get sick, big time. Because I live in a senior citizen community. There's 11,000 people here. And I see so many tragedies. It's unbelievable because they haven't taken care of themselves. Unbelievable disease, unbelievable weakness. And it's not necessary. Over-medicated surgery. I say, don't do the surgery. They do it. Now they're crippled. That happens so many. Just in the 2 years I've been here, how many people I said, I can do Qigong with you. I'll teach you how to do this. It'll take care of your shoulder. You won't take care of your hips. It'll take care of your kneecaps, your wrists. And I do that with a lot of people, and they have no surgery, and they come out 100% on the other side. And the ones who have the surgery, most of them now are crippled. So I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just trying to impress everybody. You get what you pay for. You have to maintain your bodies yourself. No one's going to do that for you. If I get in a car accident and I go to the emergency room, I'm grateful they're there. Otherwise, they are never going to touch me. No doctor, no surgery, never going to touch me. And I'm proof, 82 years old, no pain, no surgery, no drugs, no meds. And I got all my hair. There it is, looking great. So go to MoroccoMethod.com. On the home page, you'll see resources. You simply click on it and it drops down. And there's an extraordinary video called Our Story. I encourage everyone to watch it. It tells you all about the whole evolution of Morocco Method. But then below that, there's 4 books, and they're all free. And it's basically all about, the first book is Awaken Your Roots. You want to get educated about hair. Listen, you can either read it or you can listen to it. It's an Audible, Awaken Your Roots. I highly, highly recommend it. I'm not selling it. It's free. Just go on there and listen to it or read it. The second one is the artist, the escape artist. Yeah, how I escaped nonsense, boredom, very early. And the third book brings me to New York City, the Big Apple, one bite at a time. That's when you really learn about Kenneths, the rich, not rich, they were super rich. When I say super rich, you have no idea. These are generational. Today is nouveau riche. They don't have any taste. They don't have the culture. They don't have the structure, maybe a few of them, but most of them don't. They're just nouveau riche. They're paper. But the super rich, way back, they're generations. They were all cultured. They were worldly. They traveled everywhere. They were extraordinary backgrounds. I don't say they were perfect people. I'm just saying that the super rich lived like, you don't even see this in movies. And I'll get into that maybe next week a little bit on how the super rich really live beyond, and we pay taxes. We support all this. So we have to be responsible for our own lives, everyone around us in our community. So the Big Apple, one bite at a time. And then when I basically realized I was a master hair colorist at Kenneth's, and in the 1968, I had $1 million career. I walked out of it because I didn't want cancer. I seen disasters going on, horrible situations happening. And I said, look, they're getting hair color once a month or once every 2 months. I'm doing it every day. I walked out of it. And I had the lunar calendar with me from the Brazilian ladies. I basically understood natural techniques. And I had already studied with Rita on botany. I didn't even graduate high school. So I brag about that. I left in my senior year of high school, bored to death in Connecticut, joined the Navy to see the world. 17 to 20, I went to North Africa, went all over Europe dozens of times. During the Bay of Pigs and the Cuba crisis, I was stationed in North Africa protecting the Mediterranean from the Russians. So fortunately for me, I got to tour all of North Africa, and I got to tour Europe dozens of times, paid for by the United States Navy. You know how much we were paid a year? I just was looking at my tax forms. When I was in the Navy in 1961, 1962, 1963, 1964, we were paid $1,700 a year. And we were protecting the country from being destroyed. They were paying us $1,700 a year. That was criminal. We didn't have money to go out and do anything. No, we barely had money to just once in a while go out and have dinner or go to a bar once in a while. We didn't have money. None of us. The officers did, but the enlisted people didn't. So the fourth book leaves New York. It's starting to leave New York City. And now I'm going to go to Europe for 2.5 years on a sabbatical. It is called A Wish to Be Always Everywhere. And that's around 1973. So I stopped writing in 1973. So now, basically, when I have some time, I have to feel it. I haven't felt it yet. So when I feel it, I don't want to do it. I don't have to do it. But when I feel it, it all starts flowing through me. So it's effortless. And the fifth book will start when I'm in Europe. I go to Italy for a year, France for 6 months, England for a year. And I basically work with all these villagers. I go up in the mountains and the seaside villages, and I work with all the peasants. I don't go to cities. I don't go to colleges or schools or nothing like that. I go into little villages and I find the local hairdressers. I find the local botanists. I find the local astrologers all over Europe. That's what I did for 2.5 years. I just went into little villages. I had no agenda. I had a car. I traveled, went anywhere as I want. And I met extraordinary people who had been doing this for millenniums. These people were working with the lunar calendar for thousands of years. And it's all passed down word of mouth. They start off when they're 5, 7, 9 years old. They go into whatever their family sees, like you're going to be a tailor, you're going to be a goldsmith, you're going to be a botanist, you're going to be a farmer. Whatever the elders said, that's what you're going to be. You started off when you were 5, 7, 9 years old. So you go in there and probably sweep the floors and clean things and do a little bit of this. And over the time, you eventually started working with masters. So if you were going to become a goldsmith, you didn't just 7 years old start picking up a torch. You started cleaning the studio and doing errands and whatever, and you just watching, and you little by little you started grasping it. And then as whoever was the master of the shop, when they saw that you were ready, they would bring you into another dimension. And then if you were extraordinary, they would send you to a master. So that's what happened to Leonardo da Vinci. That's what happened to Michelangelo. That's what happened to a lot of incredible beings when they were basically in their field, their talent, and they were working in their village when they were very young. When whoever was the teacher saw, like, this person is extraordinary, their responsibility was to take them to the master. That's what they did. That's what they did. And that's how we produced this extraordinary architecture all over the world for thousands of years, starting with the pyramids, the Mayans, Stonehenge, Notre Dame, Chartres. These are all, this is all mastery. This is mastery. So everybody has a talent. All of us have an inner talent. When you find it, that's it. So the teacher has the responsibility. Acupuncture, absolutely, all secrets. Herbology, all secrets. Qigong, Tai Chi, yoga, all secrets. You can go to any Qigong class, any Tai Chi class, any yoga class, any acupuncture school, any herbology school. They ain't going to give you one secret. No, because those are secrets. And the teacher has to see, oh, not only are you capable of advancing, they can also trust you not to abuse the secrets. So I find it very exciting to be alive. I find it very exciting to share this with everyone. Anything that I can possibly help anyone with, I'm here. I am here. Send me any questions. You can also get through to my customer service department. But thank you for being on the Zoom. And then check out my podcast now. I'm working now with only with wellness people. And how do they check out the podcast?
We'll email them. Email.
Sean, put it on the chat. Because everyone, I've only done 2 podcasts, one in Australia, one here. But so far, everyone has said, I've never heard anything what Morocco is saying. I never understood any of this. I've been a wellness teacher all my life. And what Anthony is sharing is unbelievable. So my podcasts are going to... But I wanted to spread, at 82, I'm grateful that I can have this understanding, and I want to share it. All of it. And then next week, I have to make a note. I'm going to bring in a few exercises for ethereal medical Qigong. Very simple, only takes about 2 minutes, but I'm going to bring everybody to really feel ether. You will feel ether for the first time in your lives within 2 minutes. I can do that. And I was working in a podcast with some couple, and they said, I've been doing yoga my whole life. I've been doing breathing exercises my whole life, and I never felt ether. And I showed it to them within a couple of minutes, and they were like blown away that it's there. Everything is there. It's just that we're not. So being present in the moment, but with the ancient rituals, we have to bring back the ancient rituals and the timeless secrets into our lives, not only for our own health and wealth and being, but for our children, our grandchildren, and our communities. So we all have challenges, everyone. There's good times and bad times. Just solve the problems move on. And if it's not working, get rid of it. That's my advice to everybody. If I have something in my work or in my job or in my career that's really negative, I get rid of it. I don't care how much money it represents. I don't care what it represents. If it's stressing me out, it's gone. That's my responsibility. I'm not going to stay there and say, oh, I hate my job. I hate my job, but I got all these benefits and I'll retire when I'm 65. So I waste my whole life in this job that I hate because I'm going to have all these benefits that are going to basically break my shoulder, give me new hips, give me new kneecaps, which are going to destroy my body. Then when I turn 65, I'm like, oh my God, I wish I did this when I was in my 20s, 30s, and 40s. No. So our responsibility is to be responsible for everybody around us. And if they're not working, they leave my life. I don't care if family, friends, or community. If they're interfering with my energy levels, they're gone. And it's not only good for me, it's good for them. Because I don't want to weaken them. They know. They're not, no one's that stupid. Subconsciously, we all understand everything. So bringing it back to the moment, being present, coming back to the ethereal energy. Yes. Yeah. And let's make our hair luxurious. And we can do that. We all can have incredibly luxurious hair that's not only beautiful to look at, it's really healthy and happy, but it's also the antenna to the universe. And I guarantee everyone who's done this says, I wish I did this sooner. My statement is, start today. Start today. Make it happen. Little by little. Watch the videos. Do all these different things a little at a time. You'll start seeing the change. Everyone I work with, when they stop doing all this nonsense chemicals and they let the hair grow out, as soon as they get about an inch or a little bit more and they see their natural hair, they cry. They cry. Oh my God, my hair is so beautiful. There's nothing more beautiful than healthy, vibrant hair. Nothing. Whether you like it or not has nothing to do with it. You have curly hair, you want it straight. You have straight hair, you want it curly. You have dark hair, you want it light. You have dark hair, you want it light. Dark, fat. Stop it. Leave it alone. There's nothing more beautiful than natural hair. Healthy, vibrant, shiny, right? Nothing. If I look at somebody, I don't care how much makeup, it's like, that's not attractive. It's not. All this makeup, all this junk, all this nonsense. When you look at someone who's really 100% natural, you're like, wow, they're really attractive. And of course, we don't want to have thin hair. We don't want to lose our hair. So basically, we come back down to hair thinning and hair loss, which is a huge, huge part of MoroccoMethod.com. We don't want to lose our hair. No, we don't want that to happen. So we have to do all these things little by little. Your hair will get thicker, stronger, more vibrant, more alive. Let it grow out. Then you can do all these natural things to it for henna color. We have styling products, all natural. Nothing more beautiful than natural, vibrant hair. And the ultimate is the ethereal energy, which I'm bringing back into public. No one's talking about it. No one understands it. I'm going to put this all over my website, all over my podcasts, all over my videos to make humanity come back to the ancient rituals and the timeless secrets that right now, more than ever, we have to heal humanity. Starting with ourselves, we're here to change ourselves to become healthy, happy, and strong. All right, till next week. We have a lot more to share. I'm so grateful you guys are here. This is going to go out all over the world by videos. This particular Zoom pod, and it gets cut up. So we put the whole thing out. Then we also cut it up to 20, 30 sections. It goes out to social media all over the place. So caring, sharing, whatever we can do, we will. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Be well, be happy, be strong.